Ranking #1 on Google is important. It'll help you to get loads more inquiries and new customers. But something that most people don't even think about is how to stay at the top of the search results once they get there, so they get long-term success, month after month, year after year. But first, why is it so important to rank #1 on Google Maps? Well, to start with, there are 8.5 billion searches made on Google every single day, and 46% of those searches are local searches. So that means there are more than 3.9 billion local searches made on Google every day, and some of those people will be looking for the exact thing that you do. So the benefit of ranking #1 on Google Maps is huge. It can literally transform your business and your income. But it's really important that you follow the correct advice. There are so many gurus out there that are sharing bad advice that won't help you to get higher rankings. So why am I different? Well, I'm not asking you to just believe what I'm saying. A company called Whitespark creates a local search ranking factors report every 2 years. Everything I'm going to share in this video is from the research contained in this report, which is based on studies and experience from some of the industry's leading experts. There are actually 149 ranking factors that were identified in Whitespark's latest study, and I can't possibly go through all of them in this video. So instead, I'm going to focus on the ones that will give you the biggest impact in the shortest amount of time to get you the best results. Also, a lot of the ranking factors covered by the report include things that are done outside of your Google business profile, like things you need to do on your website. I'm only going to cover ranking factors that you implement directly on your Google business profile, so everyone watching can implement everything I'm about to explain. Plus, you don't actually need a website to rank #1 on Google Maps. I've done a search for plumber hull, and the top business shown in the map pack hasn't even got a website link showing on their listing. So let's focus on your Google business profile and look at the things you should implement to help you get to #1 spot, starting with your business name, which shows here on your profile. Adding keywords to your business name really helps you to rank higher on Google Maps. For example, if you're a plumber and your business name is A Wood Limited, this doesn't include any keywords about your business. But if you were to change the business name to A Wood Plumber Leads Limited, this gives Google a lot more information to help them rank your profile higher in searches. You're telling Google your business type, which is plumber, and your location, which is Leeds. This study by Sterling Sky proves this. It shows the results of adding the business type of salad bar and the city and state to a Google business profile's business name. Before the keywords were added, the profile was ranking down at 50th spot, but after they were added, the profile jumped to the top of the rankings. To prove this wasn't a fluke, the keywords were then removed and the rankings dropped back to their previous position. Then the keywords were re-added and the rankings shot up again. So this proves that adding keywords to your business name is a powerful way of getting to the top of Google. So surely this means you should just add keywords to your business name? Well, no, because adding keywords that aren't part of your legal business name is against Google's rules, and it can be a fast route to a profile suspension. This is taken right from Google's guidelines for representing your business on Google Maps. The rules clearly state that you must accurately represent your business name. Your name should reflect your business's real-world name as used consistently on your shopfront, website, stationery, and as known to customers. So if you want to add keywords to your business name, the only way to do it to make sure you don't break Google's rules is to actually legally change your business name. Now, this might sound like a lot of effort, but it can be worth it. As you saw in the study from Sterling Sky, the impact this can have on your rankings is huge, so it might be something you want to consider. However, if you don't want to go to the trouble of legally changing your business name, don't worry. There's still a huge amount of things you can do to help you to rank #1 on Google Maps, and I'm going to tell you about all of them in this video. The next thing is your primary business category. You can add up to 10 business categories to your profile, 1 primary and 9 additional categories. Your primary category has by far the most impact on where you rank on Google Maps, so it's vital that you get this right. When you set your business categories in your profile, you have to choose from Google's predefined list, and there are more than 4,000 of them. So many businesses get this wrong because choosing a business category is part of the Google Business Profile setup process. People are usually so focused on getting through the setup and getting their business listed on Google Maps that they don't realize the importance of this step. So they choose something that looks about right and they never go back to it to make sure it's properly set up. Your primary business category can have a massive impact on your rankings and your success. So always choose the most relevant category that describes your business as accurately as possible. An example of where this is commonly used incorrectly is with restaurants. So often they'll set their primary category to restaurant. This is way too generic. It means they're telling Google that they're just a restaurant and they'll be competing against every other restaurant in their area. But there are categories for all kinds of restaurants covering pretty much every type of cuisine. So if they're an Indian restaurant and they choose that as their primary category, then their competition reduces hugely to only be the other Indian restaurants in their area. Not only does this make their competition a lot lower, it'll also attract higher quality traffic because the people that find their profile will specifically want to eat Indian food, so they're more likely to click on their profile and book a table. So go to your profile and search for anything and everything relating to your business. Find the most relevant category and set it as your primary business category. This brings me on to the next thing that will help to rank number 1 on Google Maps, and that's your additional business categories. Remember I said you can add up to 9 additional categories. This is where you can add any other categories that describe your business. But the additional categories you select must be totally relevant, because if they aren't, all you'll do is attract low quality traffic, and that won't help you to get more customers. As I said earlier, your primary business category has by far the most influence on where your business ranks in the search results, but your additional categories still help a lot. Going back to the Indian restaurant example, their additional categories is where they should add the generic restaurant category, because some people will just want to find restaurants in their local area and then decide what type of cuisine they want to eat. So an Indian restaurant would still want to show up for generic searches for restaurants. So again, go to your profile and search for anything else you could include as a relevant additional business category. For example, if the Indian restaurant sells takeaways, then Indian takeaway would be a great additional category to select. If they sell halal dishes, then halal restaurant would be a good choice for them as well. The next thing that will help you to rank number 1 on Google Maps is adding your services. This is quite a new one because until recently, adding your services didn't help you to rank higher. But again, Sterling Sky did a study and they concluded that services now have an impact on your rankings. In the study, a dermatology business based in Hollywood added the service Vampire Facial. You can see the impact it had on their rankings in the before and after search grids. They went from being ranked 15th or lower to being 4th or higher. And this is just for one service. If you add all of your services to your profile, you'll rank higher on Google Maps for all of the services you enter. And this is all related to your primary and additional categories, because you add your services within your business categories. In this example, the business's primary category is shown here, and it's lawn care service. Underneath, you can see all the services they've added for this business category. Then when you scroll down, you can see that they've got additional categories of gardener and turf and soil supplier, and they've got services for these categories too. This will all help them to get higher rankings on Google Maps for all of these different services. So go to your profile, click on the services icon and add as many services as you can for each of your business categories. Again, make sure they're all totally relevant to your business so you only attract the highest quality traffic. Let's now move on to reviews, and this is a huge subject area. There are several review-related ranking factors that were identified by White Spark study that will help you to rank number 1 on Google Maps. The first one is high numerical Google ratings. I'm sure you're aware that when someone leaves a review on your Google Business profile, they can leave a comment and choose the number of stars out of 5 that they want to give you. It's the number of stars you receive that we're referring to here. If a profile has mainly 4 and 5 rated reviews, it'll almost always rank higher than a profile that has mainly 1, 2 and 3 star reviews, regardless of the total number of reviews each profile has. Here's an example. This plumber business only has 8 reviews, but it has a 5 out of 5 Google rating. It ranks higher than this plumber business that has 24 reviews, but only has a rating of 4.8. Now, it's not as simple as just having a higher Google rating. There are many factors that come into play when Google is deciding which business should go where in the search listings. But having plenty of reviews with a high rating out of 5 is important, and it'll help you to rank higher. Plus, it's a great way for businesses with a relatively low review count to outrank more established businesses with a significantly higher review count. So get as many reviews as you can from your happy customers, because they're more likely to give you 4 or 5 star ratings. Next is quantity of native reviews with text. A native review is a review left on Google. Google does take reviews from other review sites into account when determining which profile ranks where in search. These are sites like Facebook and Trustpilot. But Google puts way more emphasis on their own reviews than reviews that are left on third-party websites. So always prioritize getting reviews on Google before anywhere else. The other part of this is with text. When someone leaves a review, it's mandatory for them to select a number of stars, but it's optional for them to write a comment. So you'll often see reviews like this with no text included. Reviews without text aren't very useful to people that are reading your reviews to determine if they want to choose your business. That's why Google wants you to get a high number of reviews with text, because they're way more valuable to your profile and to people that are reading them. So when you ask your customers for a review, encourage them to leave a comment because it'll really benefit your profile. But if you do get the odd review without text, don't worry. Whitespark's study also recognised quantity of native reviews with no text as a ranking factor. So reviews without text will still benefit your business. The next review-related factor that will help you to rank number 1 on Google is recency of reviews. If you have 100 reviews, but you received your last one 5 years ago, then Google is way more likely to prioritise a business in searches that only has 20 reviews if they receive some of those reviews in the last few weeks or months. This shows that your business is active and current, so Google will reward you with more exposure in searches. The best way to make sure you always have recent reviews is to regularly ask your new customers to leave you a review. Don't do what a lot of business owners do and do it once every 6 months or so. Google don't want to see a massive spike in reviews and then nothing else for ages. They much prefer a steady stream of reviews over time. The best approach is to set aside some time in your diary every week to ask your new customers to leave you a review. The final review-related ranking factor that I'm going to cover is keywords in native Google reviews. When you view a Google business profile with a significant amount of reviews, you'll see this panel. It shows the words that have been included in the business's reviews and the number of times they've been mentioned. This profile is for a pet store that has a vet on site. You can see that 35 people have included the word vet in their reviews. So this tells Google that this profile should be prioritised in searches for vets. If you get plenty of relevant keywords in your Google reviews, you'll rank higher for more search terms on Google Maps. The most valuable keywords are the services you provide and the different locations that you serve. To achieve this, you need to ask people to include keywords in their reviews. When you request a review, just ask the person to include the service they bought from you and the place where they're located. This will help you to rank number 1 on Google Maps for more services in more places. I've included a review request template in the video description. You can use it when you request reviews from your customers, and it will encourage them to write a comment and include keywords that will help you to rank higher in Google searches. I've covered a lot so far and I hope you're finding it valuable. If you follow all the advice I've given, your profile should really start to move up the rankings towards that all-important number 1 spot. But once you get there, how do you stay there so you continue to get the most success possible? Well, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right now. To achieve long-term success, you need to know about a simple but extremely effective concept, and that is engagement and dwell time. In order to stay at the top of the search results, you need to prove to Google that your profile is a valuable resource for someone that's searching for what you do. Here's how the concept works. If I search for electrician Derby, I'm faced with all the businesses that Google deems are the most appropriate for my search. If I open this profile and then decide very quickly it's not what I'm looking for and I just close it, Google knows this. If people repeatedly close a profile very quickly, then Google will determine the profile is not a valuable resource for someone searching for electrician Derby. So Google won't prioritise this profile in future when someone is searching for electricians in Derby, and over time the profile's rankings will drop. This is not what you want to see happening. However, if I open a profile and spend a long time looking at it, and I interact with it by clicking on all the different elements and consuming a lot of the content, then Google will determine that this profile is a valuable resource for people looking for electricians in Derby, and they will prioritise this profile in future. So how do you make sure that your engagement and dwell time are good so Google rewards you with high rankings over time? Well, it's all about the content you need to regularly add to your profile. Starting at the top, you have images and videos. The more high quality images and videos you add to your profile, the more content people will have to consume. We all know that people love to consume visual content. There are whole social platforms dedicated to images and videos, like Instagram and YouTube. While images are a really great thing to add to your profile, videos are the secret weapon for engagement and dwell time. The reason for this is that it only takes a couple of seconds to look at an image. But if someone watches a 30-second video, then they'll stay on your profile for way longer. But if they then go on to watch 5 or 6 30-second videos, their engagement and dwell time will be increased significantly. So definitely add videos to your profile. Don't neglect images though, cover all bases because some people will prefer to look at photos while others would rather watch videos. Just think of all the interesting things that happen in your business and take photos of them or make a short video. This can be your staff, your customers, example projects, demonstrations of equipment you use and your premises. If you get really creative, you'll be able to think of loads of things you can use as images and videos on your profile. But if you do get stuck, just go and have a look at your competitors for inspiration. See what they've added to their profiles that catches your eye. You should also make regular Google posts. You can make 3 types of posts: updates, events and offers. These are another great way to add more content to your profile that's useful and engaging for people that find it. You can talk about all the interesting things that are happening in your business, events you're holding or attending, and talk about special offers. Always make sure you add a really nice image or video and include plenty of text to give context to the post. It'll help people to spend significantly more time on your profile. You should also reply to every new review that you get. Review responses show here under the review that was left, and it's a great way to show your customer and others that find your profile that you care and you're grateful that people choose to use your business. When you reply to a review, Google gives you space for 4,000 characters, so they're clearly expecting you to write more than just thanks. Be a bit more creative. A lot of people will read your review responses, so it's a great way to give more information about your business to help people understand what you do. When you're writing a review response, you can talk about the service the person bought, the process you went through to deliver it, why you like working with your customer, and anything else that will provide value to others that read your response. To maintain your rankings on Google, you need to add the content I've covered on a regular basis, like when I was talking about reviews. Don't just add a load of content all at once and then neglect your profile for weeks or even months afterwards. Add a steady flow of images, videos, Google posts and review responses every week. This is what Google wants to see, and they'll reward you with more exposure in searches if you do it. Everything I've shared in this video will help you to rank #1 on Google Maps and stay there. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below.